Sorry, I haven't posted in like 3 weeks. Holiday season got a little busy. We are back at it, and little update on where we are with selling stuff. We sold my Jeep. I had that listed and it finally sold for what I was asking. So we're gonna add 8,000 to the total. I'm selling whatever's around my house first before I get more clutter. I wanna get through the stuff that I've already spent money on to make it back. And then we're gonna focus on trying to find ways to get more passive income and then work on that side of the challenge. I don't know what we're at, above 10,000 now. So we've got quite a bit to work with. So if we want to make a big move, buy a van or buy something, you know, to help us jumpstart this, then we can. But I want to give you guys an update of what we're going to be working on today. This is my office that we have been remodeling or kind of just rearranging. This dresser was over here and we were going to put a TV on the wall. This is going to be like just my work bay, my office, my studio, whatever. But we're turning it into something that I can actually use. We've got, you know, storage down here, and we have a smaller home, so we need all the storage we can get, so we don't, I mean, this room was just piled with just stuff everywhere. Hi, Kaya. This is gonna be like my stocking shelf for stuff that I'm wanting to sell on eBay. Kaya's very interested on what I'm doing. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. And then over here, a little sneak peek of what I'm working on. One of my biggest goals and dreams in life is to start a clothing company. So I've got some stock of another local person that was doing it, but she's moving on to different things, focusing on photography now. So I kind of took over her stock. We've got a more commercial grade cutter, and then I did get a Cricut for Christmas. So we've got some sweatshirts, and then we've got some shirts. So I'm going to be sampling with that. And then I thought that it would be cool to put, this was a little date idea that I did on TikTok that blew up actually pretty well. And so the goal for today is to get my desk cleared off. I'm gonna probably set this up on time lapse, and then I'll just check in every now and then. I'll probably run to Walmart to get a new blinds for that. All right, let's get started. We have got the table pretty much cleared. Was gonna torch it, and it was gonna be too much torched wood. I did this whole wall in 2020, I think. It turned out good, but it was gonna be too much burnt wood, and so I still want it to be darker. I think we're gonna stain it, but I will sand it first, and then we'll go from there. So I have just decided to stain it now without sanding it, and I'm just gonna do a polyurethane finish over it, and that should get it nice and smooth that I want. So we're gonna go ahead and stain this. We're gonna do some hickory stain, and then we'll see how that looks. It'll probably be actually really dark. And Naomi is home now, so we're gonna get this room back into order. But first I'm gonna start with this so we can work while it's drying and get high, I guess. Okay, so here we are currently. It is the right amount of contrast with it being darker, and I was worried when I started laying it down that you couldn't see the wood grain. That doesn't help. But you certainly can see the wood grain, and especially once it'll soak in more. Alright guys, it is the next day and we've got the table all dried up, and we can actually still see the wood grain, which is what I wanted. It soaked in really nicely. I think I'm just going to leave it at one coat, and then what I went and picked up, we got some oil-based polyurethane and the correct brush for it. So we are going to get started on doing some polyurethane. I may do like 2 coats. I want it to be able to like, I don't want to feel like the scratchiness of the wood grain. So yeah, here we go. Okay, here is the first coat. It's looking shiny, looking good. I'm definitely gonna do 2 or 3 coats on it just to get it raised, kind of almost like an epoxy finish. I think that's what I'm expecting, but I shouldn't, you know. I don't know how this polyurethane is gonna turn out, but we will see. The dry time says that it's 2 hours to touch, or it's, you know, 2 hours dry time. I think we're gonna do another one in like 15 minutes. And then we'll wait actual like overnight or like the actual time. But there it is. It's coming along. Alright guys, and just like that, we've got the second coat done. Looks nice and glossy. I went a little heavy on that one, and the next coat I will go heavy as well. Alright guys, here is 3 coats. I went and did one last night before we went to bed, and I did it extra heavy. So it is nice and smooth now. It's got like a rough texture to it a little bit, like where the rough cut was on the wood and down here. But that's okay. As it gets used, you know, it'll get dinged up and stuff, and it'll get weathered and stuff. And I can always sand it and or do another coat. So next episode, we're going to get into listing more of this stuff. I just woke up, so I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to be looking for another vehicle that we can use. I do have a Tahoe, so we can also use that for getting stuff. So it's not really a big priority for me to find a truck right now, especially with how high the market is and where I am. Everyone wants a 4-wheel drive. It's super snowy out. So I'm going to live with what we have now with the Tahoe. I'm going to keep my eyes out for stuff that can make us passive income, that we can use this money that we've been making already, which is selling stuff around my house. Get out there, make some money this week. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday.